This is Scott Carstairs from Fallujah, and you're watching Rockline TV.
Hi, welcome back to Europe. I think it's the third time already.
Yep, third time.
So how are you doing?
Doing good.
How are you dealing with this cold in
This cold? Actually, I think it was colder last year, so it's actually been pretty nice. I bought a super nice jacket for this tour, and I actually haven't had to bring it out ever.
Okay, so and now you're completing the cycle for the Flash Reverse album.
Yeah, it's pretty much done, yeah.
And in the works is already the new album.
Yeah, in fact, it's done. Yeah.
It's done.
So it's pretty much completed, yeah.
So you're already playing some new material?
Yep, playing some new material tonight. We're playing one new song, and then we'll be releasing a single later this month, I'm pretty sure. Later this month or next month. Yeah.
Okay, so how would you describe me the new album?
Comparatively to the last one, maybe? I'd say it definitely went a bit darker. It's definitely not less complex. It's probably even more complex. Like, there's more songs than the last album, and you know, sometimes you have kind of instrumental songs. There's more just songs, you know what I mean? So we definitely put a lot of yeah, it's just it's a huge record, and it's super diverse. I think that the last album had more of a, like a couple songs each held a certain sound, and then it would move on to another type of sound, you know what I mean? Where it seemed like, almost like a couple really long songs, where I think this album, it's more diverse. You go in different directions. Each song kind of has its own feeling to it, whereas the last album, it seems like the songs kind of were starting to kind of have all the same vibe, if you know what I mean.
And when was the whole thing written, since you were always on tour?
Well, we did Europe with Dying Fetus, and that's probably the last time we were here, and then we went home and we did a tour with The Contortionists and Revocation, and right, like back to back, like we didn't stop touring. We went from that tour to doing our headliner tour, and then as soon as we finished the headliner tour, I just went home and started writing it. So it took about 5 or 6 months, and that was about it. And then we started recording, and that took about a month and a half. We're still kind of mixing and mastering right now, so we're still in the process.
Who was handling the recording process?
So we worked with Zach Oren.
Again, yes?
Yeah, again, he did a lot of, we worked together on tones and stuff, and, you know, worked with the guitars, because I recorded all the guitars in my house, and then we took it over to Oakland and worked with him, and we got some tones out of it for the cleans, and then after we got all that settled, oh, and he also did the vocals as well. He did Alex's vocals, all the tracking. And after we got all that figured out, we went over to Florida and recorded the drums with Mark Lewis. And basically, Mark is taking all those tracks we did in Oakland and arranging them and mixing and mastering them.
So the whole thing, considering the production, is a little bit more bigger?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, last time we just went, you know, I would just record the guitars, and then we'd take it to Zach, and then we'd go through it. But, you know, we wanted to try someone new this time, so we heard a lot of good things about Mark Lewis, and it turned out to be pretty awesome. We're still working on it, but it's going pretty well.
You started as a deathcore band.
I guess I would say we were more like...
With the first EP.
Like the first EP, yeah, we were like 15, maybe 14 or 15, and you know, like, yeah, just the bounce, because we were in the Bay Area, so there was a lot of bands like Animosity, but there was also, had like the kind of thrash history, so there was like a lot of different things going on. I think we just wanted to make music we liked, so we took elements from everything. So we had like a little bit of black metal, some breakdowns, some kind of beat down beats. We didn't really care at that age about having like a really consistent sound, so you know, it was just kind of everything we liked and everything we were influenced and by just the area. There's so many shows going on in the Bay Area at the time.
And suddenly you switch to something more extreme and progressive.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, we just, we're all kind of nerdy musicians. We spend a lot of time practicing and trying to get better at instruments. You know what I mean? So it just kind of, the music just naturally grew with us. Like, because we started this when we were like 15 and we're like 24 now, so it's nearly 10 years. So you can't expect someone to be playing the same music all the time. So it was just a slow progression, and we didn't want to get pigeonholed into one kind of sound. So we were always trying to sneak in new elements into the music till eventually get to a point where we could do whatever we want, without going too crazy.
But the fact here is that the whole deathcore is a little bit more trendy than the technical death metal.
Trained? What do you mean by that?
It's more popular, attracts bigger
yeah,
audience.
sometimes, yeah. They all have their time. You know what I mean? It seems like things come in waves. Like metalcore was really big for a while. Deathcore was really big for a while. Now we've got this kind of new, kind of bouncy prog. Kind of more, people ripping on Meshuggah a little bit, you know what I mean? Things come in waves, but I think if you just stick with what you like and your sound, that's fine, you know what I mean? I don't really pay attention to what's, I do look at what the audience likes, of course, like who wouldn't do that, but when it comes to trends, I don't really care. It's never really been something I cared about.
In these days, there's a lot of metal releases.
Yeah.
What it takes for a band to prove something to bigger audience that it is unique or something special?
What I think it takes? Well, I think
let's give an example from Fallujah.
Okay, well, I think, in my opinion, what you have to do to kind of separate yourself is, like I said earlier, just don't really buy into all the trends that are going on. Just try to make the best product you can make, you know what I mean, and make it unique to itself, and also do it tasteful. I mean, sometimes people try to go a little too crazy with some element or something, and just so they can get attention, when really you should just really try to just make some good sounding music that's really tasteful sounding. So if you just work on the product and you keep it solid, and you always keep in consideration what your audience wants, of course, you want to definitely work with your audience.
Well, I think your approach to the whole thing is pretty unique, considering the combination of death and black metal elements with progressive techniques, and also with the atmosphere. Can you reveal some influences?
Some influences?
Yes.
It's hard to say. There's so many, you know what I mean? Because there's like the atmospheric elements and stuff like that, and then we also have like the shred guitar stuff. So, like Alan Holdsworth and Greg Howe, those are some of my favorite guitar players. So when I'm at home and I don't have anything to work on, I'll learn some of their music. Their chops are just so good. The licks are so unique. So that's the kind of stuff for kind of guitar playing. I mean, when I was young, I was listening to like Necrophagist and Obscura and all those bands and stuff like that. I got to know some of those guys, so the technical side. But we really don't like take from metal when we're trying to trying to create vibes and sounds. You know what I mean? Maybe the closest thing to metal would be like the Deftones and the kind of the vibes that they put out. But there's a lot of electronic music and anything really. I feel like this album in particular, it was mostly movie scores, I'd say, just because movie scores really harness that huge atmospheric sound, you know what I mean, like that, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to evoke emotion, and that's what we're trying to do, you know what I mean. The year is coming to an end, so can you reveal some of the best releases of this year? The best releases?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's always been a hard question for me.
To be metal.
Yeah, of course. I just feel like I've dropped off the whole listening to music lately, just because, like I said, I just finished recording, so I just every time I just wake up, get some coffee, and start working on my own music, and then every once in a while, some of the bandmates would, we'd go ride around or something and listen to some new music. So It's hard to say. I feel like the releases I would put out probably came out the year before. I don't even pay attention, I seem.
What to expect from Fallujah in 2016?
What to expect? Well, definitely a new song, maybe even before 2016, and then we're going to slowly start giving out some material in the beginning months. Then you're going to get a release, and then you're going to get lots of tours worldwide, definitely. So we're going to hit pretty much, definitely a lot of new places and the same places we've always hit. So a lot of America, a lot of Europe, and then a bunch of new places, which I'm really excited for.